from where we left off, you had a nice, fun encounter with a guy named Casimir Sundrinker. Um, kind of got a little sunburn and ended up waking up in a very dark, dreary place. The handful of people that you met called the place the Ditches. And after you first landed, you woke up on a gigantic pile of bones. You were saved by a gnome who helped rescue you and get you out and led you back to their camp. Since you've been in their camp, they let you stay the night, and they offered to kind of give you some shelter and pretty much just kind of a little bit of rest since you'd kind of had a little bit of a rough day. So the main three people that you originally met in around the campfire was Abardus, who was the main guy that was kind of talking, the guy with kind of the little mustache and the little goatee beard. The Dragonborn and the human south of her, or of the Dragonborn's female. They both didn't really talk too much. You got Alvin had a tiny conversation with um, Sesher, who was the other Weshel kind that y'all met when you first came in. Make sure these are discoverable by everybody, their names. Okay, looks like they are. And make sure, yeah, okay. So, in addition to that, you met Lemnor and Yijin. Yijin was the gnome that helped y'all, and then Lemnor was the special kind that they're like the aquatic people that are Lanesh. Is Lanesh. She is the one who is the primary hunter and gatherer of food, and she kind of told you the tale of how she lost her coral at some point whenever she initially landed and has not been able to find her since. She's also the one who typically goes out on her own and looks for her wolf as well as foraging food for everybody. They told you that that evening that they had a very limited supply of food, and that the Lemnor, their hunter, got hurt the last time she went out, and that they pretty much are low on food, and they're going to have to hopefully get her healed up so that way they can start taking care of themselves. And after that, y'all all took a long rest. You leveled up, um, and other than that, y'all basically went to sleep. Um, Alvin, I'm getting like some weird feedback coming from your end. I don't know if it's I'm echoing or on your end.
I can turn you down if that's what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's just whenever I'm talking, I'm hearing just like a little chuttering sound. I don't know if it's me just coming through on your end, but I was just noticing a lot. Um,
Is that better?
I'm not sure. Talk, 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 talk,
Better
talk,
on
talk,
my
talk.
end.
Yeah, I don't. It doesn't. It sounds better than it did before. So maybe I was just a little too loud coming through your side. Okay. So like I said, it is the morning after. You all basically huddled into the kind of bunk room area where Lemnor and Yijin are currently standing at. That was they pretty much just had beds for everybody to stay at. I know Alvin, you kind of posted up watch because you don't really need to sleep, so or eat. So you were just kind of like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna post up here and make sure nothing comes because y'all originally were chased by some skeleton or some hands came at you, and then a large skeletal minotaur awoken and chased after you briefly before you made y'all way here. But yep, all right. So that's it. Y'all can go from there. The In the morning, you notice that everybody is kind of talking. Um, the main three that were sitting at the fire are sitting there again. I'm going to move Theo back a little bit just because I'm assuming he's going to be a late riser, especially since he's not here at the moment. Um, but Setcher, Danetta, uh, Karagnir, and Abardus are all having a conversation with Yijin. and they're pretty much all just kind of arguing amongst each other whenever y'all wake up. Pretty much you're all awoken to the sounds of them all kind of arguing with one another.
Well, I'd have just been, like sitting at the table so I could watch the hallway. And I guess I would be listening, but I wouldn't walk over there because I don't know them, so it's not exactly my business. But
Okay. Make a perception check to see about how well you would probably have heard about what they were discussing. Okay, pretty good. Let's see. Um, Also, too, does anybody have any issues or concerns about their upgrades to their character classes since they've leveled up?
Just the one that the message I sent you.
Yep. It's in the middle category when you see it'll say 2 of 2. It says uses in the features tab because it's just below your healer's kit and it says 2 of 2.
I don't have that. That's why I was like, I don't have anything that says anything about it. Hold on, I'll just. Mike, it's acting wonky. I'm just gonna sign out and sign back in.
It's fine. Yeah, I can see it clearly on my side. So, give me just 1/2 second. Okay, let's see.
I kind of stand in the peripheral, just trying to listen and see what I can glean as well.
Okay.
just a quick question: how do I unprepare spells? Because when I leveled up, apparently it prepared all of the spells I'm able to learn. So I have 17
Gotcha.
out of 3 prepared.
Okay, so if you right click it, it'll remove preparation. You'll see it'll be
Okay.
like a little red textbook. There you go.
And then, okay, but then it's gone. So how do I like re-prepare it?
So when it'll disappear from your features, like when you're hovering over the spells, but in the on your character sheet. So like what ones were you gonna prepare?
Oh, okay. No, I'm clicked on. Okay, so I don't know. I didn't quite look. I was just gonna unprepare them, but I actually unprepared bless, which is a great spell, and so I'd like that one back.
Yeah. Just when you unprepare it, you just right click it again and it'll re-equip it. So,
Gotcha. Cool.
Yep. So also too, now that you have that, let me add the divine smite to you. Forgot to
You
add
put it in my
that when
features.
I did, but there's an actual better coded one that works a lot better. So that way, when you get a critical hit, it'll actually proc and do everything the way it's supposed to. And it does, if you get like if it's an undead creature, it automatically does the extra damage and all that. So let me there's a vastly superior version. So let me see. Okay, so the people that are trying to overhear, Anshi, did you make a perception check as well?
I have not.
Go ahead and make one. Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. So, the two of you, I was trying to see about dragging y'all into the people that were kind of over here. I was going to drag into a private channel, but we'll just discuss it. So the people that are sitting around the table, kind of arguing with one another, they are pretty much all discussing, with the addition of all these people that have just showed up into camp, they're all pretty much, there's one or two of them in particular, the female human at the bottom, as well as, where did my thing go? There it is, Divine Smite. So let me add this. Okay, so real quick, Alvin, at the bottom, you'll have a Divine Smite. It'll show up as a spell. You'll see it blue. I'll go ahead and just drag that up at the top. So anytime you attack and you get hit, if you want to add a smite, you'll just click that spell and it'll do everything else, and you're done. So easy peasy. Great. Yep, easy peasy. So, anyways, the people that are standing around the fire, Doyeta and Corriganir are very adamant about utilizing all of y'all to be able to escape. And then Yijin and Bardus are a little more hesitant about it. They, you know, express to the two of them who are, a Bardus kind of, looks to the human one, and kind of lets her know it's just like, you haven't been here as long as I have. You don't know, how bad it can be. And it's like, we're better off just kind of staying here and, holding the fort down. But the Dragonborn, she's like kind of itching to kind of want to go out and explore and see more. And Yijin even kind of chimes in to explain that it's very dangerous, and even if we have more people, doesn't mean this is going to make it easier. Also to what I did, Alvin. So if, say, you want to use a torch in the future, I added a module for torch. So when you just let me know, you're like, hey, I want to use a torch. I'll do this, and it'll create the light effect of you being able to having a torch. And then I can turn it off accordingly. Same thing for if Theo does the same thing, it'll um, create that extra light for y'all. So so which Theo doesn't really use one because he has dark vision. But in the event that you or Anchi or somebody is like, I'm popping a torch, like Anchi has one going that's doing the torch effect. So, but all right. So that's pretty much what they're all kind of discussing with one another. That it's too dangerous. We don't need to risk it. Two of them are being very adamant about, like, we need to use this opportunity. We've almost doubled our number. We need to take advantage of this and seize while the opportunity's hot. Strike while the iron's hot, basically. So
Um, where is Sarissa and Nemina at this point? Are these still in the sleeping area, or are they out here listening as well?
that would be up to Namia and Sarissa.
Yeah,
I'm
I
down
haven't
in this
moved.
little tent right here.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
I'm gonna say that we're prepping to go out because we committed to the injured person that we would go hunting on her behalf today.
exactly.
So we're prepping.
Um, and she's gonna kind of step closer to the fire, um, and kind of look at, survey the group that's standing there and go, I don't mean to intrude here, but don't you think it would be pertinent to ask our opinion before you just start using us?
The
Kind of give Dragonborn and the human a look when I say that.
the human will kind of look at you like, why does it? Don't you want to get out of here?
It's not a matter of wanting to or needing to get out of here. It's, you stated, to use us so you could get out of here.
Well, use you in the sense that, like, if we work together, we'll be able to escape. Not like we're gonna put y'all in front of the moving car and then I'm gonna dodge it.
Well, that's a good right. I'm making it, and she's purposely twisting that to make it sound like she was gonna use it as us, putting us in front of our car. That's what Angie's going for. She's wanting that the human and the dragonborn to make that distinction verbally. So she's kind of when she states it, she's kind of purposely twisting it more towards the use us as in putting us in front of the car.
Gotcha. But they'll explain it. It's like, if we work together, we'll have a better chance of actually getting out of here, opposed to going off on our own and potentially dying.
Okay.
And like one of them, like the Dragonborn, will even kind of come. It's like, didn't you see all the names when you came in?
this is the player drawing a blank. Did we see a bunch of names?
I can honestly say that we didn't look super hard. We were kind of moving pretty quickly to get away from what zombies?
Yeah, I don't remember seeing any.
Skeleton. I remember the
Skeleton
Skeletor
and
Minotaur we were
skeleton
fleeing from.
minotaur.
Yeah, I think we were more concerned about that, honestly.
Right. That's why I'm going out of character. Is that something we saw, or did we just pass by?
The only person that I feel like probably would have maybe saw it would have been possibly Sarissa, as much as she was kind of looking around her surroundings and kind of like taking everything in.
And she's gonna look at them and go, honestly, no, I didn't. I was a little preoccupied getting away from the mound of hands trying to grab my feet and a skeleton minotaur.
Okay. So after the comment by the Dragonborn, Yijin and Bardus both kind of look a little sullen, and Yijin makes the comment that the names that she's referring to are all the people that have already died, and that they basically kind of write their name on the walls like a way of like honoring their memory.
As
Since we didn't see that, could you tell us how many there are, just to get a sense of scale?
A lot.
and she's gonna go, as touching as that is, that also tells us that your friends here are right. This is a fairly dangerous place, it seems. Caution would be prudent. I'm not saying we shouldn't try to get out of here, but we're slow on food. Your hunter is hurt. We are gonna have to hunt in her place to bring in food, and we have extra mouths to feed now. I think escape is a good goal, but there are more prudent needs that we need to find. Also, we, if I understood right, from the previous evening, your hunter, when she got here, had a companion that is missing, and we do not know if it's alive or dead.
All of the ones that are in the group, when mentioning Coral, uh, all just kind of like have this look. It's like, you know, like kind of like a saddened kind of look on them that they all like, she holds out hope, but more than likely Coral's probably dead. Because
Well,
in
she
in
may
their in their mind, from what they've experienced, it's unlikely that Wolf would have survived on his own after all this time.
but we, the fact that you haven't even fully explored this place tells me we don't know if that wolf is alive or dead. We don't know if there's other people here, whether they could be of help or hindrance.
So, of artists will chime in. He is just like, "Oh, we've explored more than just this area. This is just where we've had to fall back to because we actually had more of a territory, but basically got overrun and had to fall back here when we had more people. The last time they made an attempt to get out of the ditch gate, they lost a lot of members and pretty much had to fall back here and haven't left since."
But have you fully explored this
Yes.
place?
When
Yes.
when you all fell back, did
They have a
you bring the
thorough
important things
thorough
with you,
detail. What?
or
One more time?
did you bring the important things with you, or did you leave some useful items behind?
A lot of possessions were left behind. Yijin especially mentions that he created several traps and mechanisms that they used to use to help protect themselves, and they all got left behind after they had to flee.
Those could be useful.
Well, that might be a good place to start. If we can shore up our fortifications and have this place to fall back to as we continue to explore and strengthen it up, what would we need to do in order to prepare to get out? If you've all attempted before, what can we expect, and what do we need?
So, Abaris will chime in and he'll say that I want to get us out of here as much as the rest of us, but the creatures at the gate are just far too dangerous. We would need to prepare to make an attempt again. But he basically asks us like, if you're willing to help, everybody kind of needs something, and if everybody kind of works together, we might be able to make a better attempt to be able to get it here. Um, Abars himself mentions that he needs about at least 30 pounds of scrap metal so that he can use to fortify their defenses around camp.
Okay.
Is that something we can find in like some of the previous territory with Yezhin's
Correct.
traps? Would those kind of be in the similar area?
Correct. He is also a blacksmith, so if you find any weapons or things like that, he can melt them down to be able to make the metal that he needs.
So
Anchi, how many kilograms is 30 pounds? We didn't use pounds in our town. I'm not familiar with the term. It sounds like it's a unit of weight.
give me one moment here while I jog my memory with Google.
It's gonna be
13.63.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that seems reasonable. All right. Oh man, when you said 30, I was worried for a second.
I have some questions since we don't know the area, having just arrived here. Have you guys? Do the undead after you dispatch them? Do they come back together, or do they stay? Are they dead?
It is a daily struggle every single night to keep the undead at bay. There is a never ending supply of them.
I understand, but like, we passed a skeleton minotaur. If we were to, as a group, dispatch that creature, is it going to come back, or is it going to stay dispatched?
They have not attempted to try to defeat the Minotaur
What
as a
else would we
group.
need besides the metal? Like who else needs stuff?
So, uh, the female human, Doyetta, she's basically wanting to. She is basically like she's obsessed with like history and lore from lost civilizations. Um, she believes this has something to do with that necromancer and that this place, even though it's horrible, there's probably, invaluable knowledge buried underneath just all this muck. And then she would basically want you to find like any kind of like crazy relic or anything that you could find.
I can respect that.
The Dragonborn, she's kind of a researcher in terms of like, she's basically just like obsessed with knowledge. Like she's the one that really, really wants to go out and explore. She has actually never seen the monster that is at the gate. She would want y'all to go to the monster and obtain a tissue sample so that way she could study and analyze it to be able to see if it'd be a way to, kind of pacify it in some way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I
Limnor's
like these two girls. I like
yeah.
how they think.
Limnor is pretty easy. She wants to find coral. Yijin, he's looking for some of his old traps and stuff that he had, and Sesher is a druid, and he once had a very good garden at their old base that they ended up eventually getting kind of overrun at, and he's trying to make plants grow in here as another means of creating like a food source. So any kind of plants or anything that you could find that you could eat, that they could eat, that he could eventually grow, that'd be something that he'd be very interested in.
Okay.
Because he has an area that he's created as like a grove, that he can use these like they're like these bluish crystals that he uses to help the plants grow, and but a lot of the plants he's tried so far have all just been kind of stunted and just kind of wretched looking, and they're not very edible. But it's like he knows that there's definitely stuff out there because he had some things that he'd worked with previously, but they just haven't been able to acquire it since they had to fall back here. Um, their diet usually consists of like mice and small game, typically mostly just like rats is what they pretty much live off of. That's usually what Limnar mainly hunts.
Okay.
Like I said, they could eat the undead, but they choose not to because it's
Make them
very
sick.
bad for you to make you sick. But they'll do it as a last resort. Like if they cannot get any food, they'll eat that.
So, question.
Yes.
Um, one of my spells is purify food and drink. Could I purify the undead meat? Would that make it safe to consume?
I will allow that. That is fine.
That is okay. Yeah, that could
To
do.
be able to do that on the food that's rotting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I figured that was a sure bet.
Okay.
But the undead was a question because like we currently have that food, but that'll run out at some point. So
Mhm.
you know, in addition to that, we could purify the undead meat. Then we have a pretty decent supply of stuff.
Yeah.
Angie will go back and kind of reiterate then because they didn't fully answer this. Once the undead are dispatched, do they come back
They've
or
no,
do they stay?
they've never attempted to fight the Minotaur, so they don't know about that. But a lot of the things that they fight continuously come back and attack the camp each night. They got lucky
Okay.
that last night that nothing came, but it's almost usually
So
every single night that something
so the
shows
dead
up.
like regenerate.
Correct. It's
Okay,
this
so
is
they
just
knock them down
a
and they rebuild themselves. Okay.
correct.
Okay. Because see, and Nancy will kind of explain the reason why I was asking this is there is an offshoot from where we came in, but to get to it, I believe we have to get past the Minotaur. And since that is seems to be the main entrance for new people, if we could take care of that and keep it gone, that makes that avenue safer. But if we're gonna kill it and it's just gonna come back,
They honestly
then
haven't tried because
it's pointless to do it.
they've never tried because every time they leave that room, the thing never follows them. So they pretty much just know if someone comes in, they'll snatch them, run through real quick, and then they're good. They're safe. They've never they've never tried to fight the Minotaur. It hasn't always appeared every time. Like it usually sometimes just remains motionless, but depending on how loud it is when people are coming through, then it'll usually wake up. But sometimes when Yijin just comes back with just one person, it doesn't always just pop up. But, with such a large group of y'all coming at the same time, some of you wearing metal and armor, making noise because you're running, it woke up and responded. So
Do we know? Do we know what's down that other hallway? Or
the
no,
other
sorry.
hallway that uh, is caved in.
Okay. So it eventually like dead ends.
That big open room that y'all were in that had the Minotaur, there is two entrances. There's one from where y'all came from where the bone pile was, and there's the entrance from where y'all came and ran to get away from it. Those are the only two that you currently have access to. The
Right.
area that's where the Minotaur is at is blocked off right there, yes. Now it can be cleared away, but it would take some effort and time.
Okay. But so the wolf. The reason why I'm asking this question is if the wolf came out from where we came out, I was thinking that maybe he went down this other passage. But if that's caved in, he would have had to come through where we're
Well, you
at
don't know when
now.
it caved in.
I'll ask, did it cave in before or after Coral went missing?
Um, they are not sure. Limnar was one of the first people of them. The people that kind of showed up around the same time Limnar did are almost all dead. Abaris was basically new when Limnar showed up.
Okay. So it's possible if that hadn't caved in yet that Coral went down that and it's actually trapped and living off whatever she could have found.
Possibility.
My recommendation would be to head back to the old camp, try to find some traps, try to get the metal, and sure up home base.
And then once home base is a little bit more secure, we can explore a little bit further.
Right, that way we have a safe place to come back to and
Mhm.
recuperate.
Yes.
Well, definitely. I definitely agree with that. I'm just trying to get a bigger picture of what's been explored. What kind of situations. I personally I don't like the idea of killing something and having turning my back to it and potentially having it stand up and stab me in the back. And the fact that the undead could potentially do that, that's something that we now know that we didn't know before.
Mhm.
And do you guys happen to have like a map or a rough sketch of what you've explored?
So the majority, the people that were alive the last time that they went out and explored were Abardus, Yijin, and Lemnor. Everybody else is new. Sorry, and Sesher was alive then too. So
Didn't
ba-
last session, didn't I also sketch a map based in my sketchbook or journal based on what the hunter told me?
you
So
got
I
at
actually
least
have
a
a decent.
brief. Yeah, she says
Mhm.
that she typically goes down this way, down towards this entrance where I'm doing the thing at right there.
Mhm.
That's typically the route that she goes, and she follows along that tunnel. There's like this big, very open, kind of wooded area where there's like a bunch of roots and trees and stuff, and that's typically where she hunts her mice at most of the
Yeah.
time.
So I know at least I have that detail, or I at least have that that part sketched and mapped out.
Yeah.
Which way
Also,
was the base camp? Was it from here?
towards the east,
So this way?
correct.
Okay.
Also, for reference and point of scale, each square is 10 feet.
Okay. That's actually good to know.
Oh, then we're all gigantic.
Yeah, it was. This is the best way I could scale a map, but yeah, each square consists of 10 feet.
Okay.
Cool.
I tried to scale it smaller and it looked like shit, so I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna this at least looked clean. So
All right. So I'm assuming at this point, Namia and Sarissa would have come out of the tent and at
yeah.
least
Mhm.
have a decent idea what's going on. Since Alvin can purify the food, and we'll have a little bit more than what we initially thought. I think today we should go to the old camp and start getting supplies to better our defenses, and
I
then
agree.
we can go from there. And now that food isn't as dire as it once was. Because if we can get our defenses up, we can have more time to build up our strength in food and explore and that sort of thing. If everyone's cool with that.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll find something on that path as well, especially since it's much less traveled than the route
Mhm.
that the hunter told us about.
Yeah. And then I can
Including
document down that way too, and
uh
anything of note.
this will be more asked towards Yenin and Barbarous. What can we expect for resistance going between here and the old camp?
So on the way to the old camp, they said the most dangerous thing is there's a large ravine, like a large like kind of chasm that runs the length of it. There is like a bridge that does connect it, but sometimes it's a little precarious to travel across. So typically, what they'll do is they'll basically they had to crawl, or they had to basically like rock climb across it to make it around it safely and not worry about falling through. Um,
The walls and the cave ceiling are pretty sturdy.
yes.
That is good to know for later. Okay.
Okay.
Does
Yeah, so
anyone
here
want to come with us as we hit up the old camp? Imagine you might be able to find your traps and take them down a bit easier if you care to join us.
um Yijin is pretty adamant about not leaving. He wants to make sure that Limnor's okay. Um he doesn't like to leave camp very much. He usually kind of stays because he's kind of like the designated I go to watch for people that show up. Um, Also, real quick, in terms of layout of kind of how the ditches are laid out. So the ceilings are about like from the floor up to the ceiling is about 60 feet high. Um, Most of the rooms are pretty much unlit or pitch black unless you see like lights, like some of the things have kind of like lights around it. Um, there are tons of tree roots that puncture through walls and ceilings. Sometimes they're thicker at the top and thinning at the bottom. Um, and Most of them are inflammable. And most of the walls are made of sturdy, packed dirt, but can be dug through with tools. So this is a brief thing like that. And so you were asking about people that were wanting to potentially travel with you. Um, so um, Seshur is very adamant about not wanting to leave. Um, Limnor will once she feels better, but right now she's still not 100%. Yijin's no. Um, Doinetta will go, but she kind of wants y'all to find some stuff for her first before she's willing to leave camp. Uh, and then the Dragonborn would be willing to go with you. And then Abaris, he typically stays in camp because he makes sure all the smithing needs to make sure their barricades and everything are tip top each night because the zombies and everything that come through destroy the barricades as they're trying to kill them. So he has to constantly keep maintaining them. So he typically doesn't leave very often. So, but of the ones that are there, the Dragonborn would be willing to go with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, she does not have the greatest layout of the place because she wasn't here when they were at the old camp. Um, so, she has just a brief kind of like little bit of knowledge just from what they've explained to her, but she's never actually explored very much. So, in terms of an actual
How injured
resource
is
for
the
like,
other person?
what now?
How injured is the?
So she took a pretty bad bite from a zombie. The healing that y'all did for her did help. I know that you did lay on hands on her before y'all went to bed. So she is in overall better shape than she was, and she'll likely recover faster, but she may need another day or so to kind of be back into good fighting shape. You just don't heal as well in this place. Like healing and recovering is a little harder just because it's like it almost feels like your life force is being drained.
Yeah, that's why I was asking how much.
She may need a day or so. Like if y'all heal her again this evening, then she might be good by tomorrow.
Okay.
Um.
I would hold off on potentially wasting a bunch of resources on her now because you don't know what you might run into and you don't want to
Yeah.
kind of hinder
Right.
yourself. But if you make it
Uh.
out and you still got some stuff left over, and it might be good to top her off.
Okay.
And she will ask the hunter Lenore if the area to the south of where the bone minotaur is was that caved in when she got here, or did it cave in after she got here?
She's honestly not sure. When she first landed, she was yelling and shouting for Coral, trying to find her pet, and the Minotaur attacked her, and she basically fled. So, like, she wasn't really super aware. The wolf didn't come to her when she was yelling and calling like she typically does. So, she assumes that she's probably not in there, but she's not. She hasn't had a chance to go and explore, and she can't go and fight it by herself. And a lot of them haven't gone in there willingly because they know that it'll just stop chasing you and they haven't want to risk getting killed by the thing.
Gotcha.
Because if you get hurt and injured, you just can't just bounce back the next day. It's you're hurt and injured and you might not recover.
Gotcha. No, I understand. It was, and she's still trying to assess whether or not it's even worth trying to kill and excavate that area, or if it's just something we should just completely ignore. Because that's an unknown area to her, and she's curious about it now.
I got you. One of the group will mention that it's a Bardus. He knows about the area. There's like a ritualistic room over there. They've explored it once or twice, but they typically kind of don't go over there because um, it just has this kind of weird presence. So they typically avoid it.
Okay.
And that's down this way.
Correct. Like they keep it barricaded because they have had things come from there, like undead creatures. But typically, that's one of the least areas that they've come through. But they have come through in the past, so they keep it protected. But and so I also have this as like a thing that y'all can at least see as a at nighttime. When there's something that needs to be whatever, because these can actually be attacked and have hit points and everything. So
Okay.
these things can be fixed and repaired like that. But those are uh, representing basically these wooden ones that are sitting on the ground like that. That's what these represent. So, but at least there's something physical and tangible that y'all can see for times that it matters.
Okay.
That way, there's something like, okay, I can stand behind this area and then I'm protected. So, just as a point of reference.
Angie will ask them how far down the southern pass is that ritual room.
They said that like if you travel down the hallway, it might take you like 30 or 40 minutes to kind of get to the ritual room.
Um, do we want to go check that room out first?
I think we should check out where the old camp was and get supplies first. That's just me, though.
I feel like if we had more supplies and could fix up the camp, I'd feel better about exploring the unknown.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, my concern is that unless, and she kind of waves to the groups standing here, unless any of these guys are versed in their arcane arts, I mean, as far as we know, that ritual could be the reason why these undead keep coming back to life.
But if that isn't the reason why, we wasted time when we could be fortifying ourselves and get a better position, and then we can go investigate it.
I didn't say it wasn't without risk. I just asked if we'd wanted to.
I'd just feel a lot better if I wasn't. Oh, actually, I don't sleep, so we can do whatever.
I'm with Sarissa. I think it'd be better to stock up and be prepared. That way, if it is something that maybe we underestimate, then we can at least come back here and be safe
Yeah.
and heal, since we can't heal as quickly down here.
We don't want to poke a beehive. Potentially, so.
Okay. So where are y'all likely heading first? The old camp?
Yes.
Okay.
That's where the
my vote.
majority wants to go, so that's where we're gonna go.
Okay. All right. So if that is the way y'all want to head, looks like Theo's at least made it online. I know he's muted in the chat at the moment, but at least he's here. Um, so uh, I guess brief catch up if you can hear me. Sorry, lost audio. We'll get back on ASAP. Can you at least hear me at the moment? Let's see. Saw him do like the ear plug thing, or it looked like it was the missing headset deal. If you need to message in the chat that you can say yes or no that you can hear me. I can give you at least a brief rundown.
Sounds like he can't. I saw the little headphone.
Yeah, I saw it too again, second time.
Well, if we want to go down and start looking at the camp, I think we should get started as soon as possible.
So if that is the way y'all are gonna head, then you will head directly east, down this tunnel. Like I said, the spaces are 10 feet movement.
And I'm going to like cautiously try to be as aware as possible as I move down and move slowly and steadily.
Okay.
Maria's gonna
Is
have
Alvin,
her sword ready at all times.
is Alvin readying a torch?
I assume so because I can see.
So I would say, see, that's your torch mode. Um,
I mean, I would be carrying a torch because otherwise I can't see, and that's not good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's you some sight. Let's see. I can hear you now for some reason. I couldn't on my PC. Okay. Um, do you need a brief, quick rundown of what everyone's doing in the plan?
Yeah. Let me know. I mean, you don't have to tell me what everyone's doing. Just tell me what I'm supposed to do.
Basically, they are heading out. So their little spellcaster, their group, the female dragonborn, she's gonna go with y'all to explore. There was an old area of the camp of this area, the ditches that they used to have was their old camp. The
Everyone want all the
dragonborn.
metal and stuff from it.
Uh, there's that. There's possibly some of the traps that the guy had that he's lost.
Nice.
The human is looking for old, like ancient artifacts. The Weshelkind is a druid looking for any kind of plants and stuff that they can use to grow to make more food sources. The guy with the mustache and things, he's looking for just scrap metal that he can use to make their fortification stronger. The Dragonborn, she is looking for a sample of the creature that is guarding the gate so that she can study and analyze it to hopefully maybe try and find a weakness for it. And Limnor, the aquatic Lanesh chick, is looking for her wolf coral. I believe
It sounds
that's.
like we can get like basically three things from the old camp. We can get some traps. Apparently, that's where the vegetable kinds garden was, so we can get some stuff from there as well as any scrap metal. So, we can get a couple things all in one spot. So that's why it's our first goal.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So as you descend down this tunnel, it starts to kind of like twist and kind of uh, like you'll also notice that the air starts to grow just a lot thicker. Um, it's like basically almost like kind of cloying against your skin. It doesn't really provide heat or warmth or any promise of water, but it still just like clings to your skin and like just garments and all the same. Like it's just this like real, just heavy feeling. Um,
Real
the
humid.
yeah, basically. So the smell cannot decide whether if it's stale with decay or sweet with rot. And it
Ugh.
can't choose between the dryness of stone or the familiarity of the earth, of the graven earth. Basically, just the tunnel just kind of almost fills you with anxiety as you try to like make your way down it. Um, and as you descend deeper, like the just choking earth of the ditches just creates just this weird, dreary feeling. Um, and eventually, as you kind of get kind of close to about where Nemia and Alvin are standing, you see this like chamber. It's not any bigger than like say the Dredger's camp, but you see that it's kind of illuminated by this like yellow light inside.
Just as a point of reference, as we're traveling, Angie's gonna hang behind Alvin, kind of like on the very edge of the light, and try to move as quietly and as stealthily as she can.
Okay. Um, Theo, where in relation do you think you would stand in terms of like the group? Would you kind of hang near the front? Would you hang near the back?
Yeah, probably near the front. I like being between threats and casters.
Okay. I know Nemia will kind of also kind of take point too, especially kind of being like kind of like a tracker and
Yep.
ranger. Um, so she'll
Yeah,
I
I'll
could
definitely follow her. So I
I could
don't know where
definitely
I'm
see y'all
going.
could definitely kind of take point in the matter. The Dragonborn, she's definitely going to kind of hang in the back slash middle of the pack. She doesn't kind of want to get left, in a precarious situation. And she's definitely going to stay close to people that are clad in heavy armor.
Did they give us any when I asked for like the mapping of the area? Did they give us like any like directions to get to the old camp, or like things to watch out for?
The big thing I said they mentioned was the chasm that's basically in the big, large open area. They said that getting across it can be a little treacherous. After that, they said that the camp itself, the last time they were there, they got overrun by this really large, like hulking monster that basically was kind of just like looping through the camp. And, that's why they weren't able to kind of grab their stuff and get it and leave. So they basically just had to bail. They are unsure if that thing is still there or not. Basically, just the way to the old camp is mostly straightforward, but the getting across the chasm is the hardest part. Once you do, it's pretty easy and recognizable to get into the camp. So, all right,
But for the most part, we know where we're going.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want me to make a stealth check?
If you want to, you can. I mean, there's nothing at the
Like I
moment
said,
that's.
and she's trying to move as quietly as she can. So.
If you want to, then sure. Okay. All right. Well, you're moving quite stealthily. Like I said, the room that y'all backpack that way has that weird kind of glowing light. Like I said, um, it also seems to be part of a source that's giving that kind of thick, kind of humid feeling. Is almost seems like it's almost coming from this area.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was asking. Like, did they mention anything about like this room or anything?
No. And I'm very curious.
Well, Brad's mentioned it multiple times, but
Yeah.
makes me feel like he wants us to go in there. So I feel like we definitely should.
And you have good luck with glowing orbs. Why don't you go touch it?
Yeah. I know. I will step here and see if I can.
And she will kind of
Feature
move up with her.
skills.
Namia will move up just in case something pops out.
Do I perceive anything with the 14? Or no, it'd be more investigation. Like
So as you're kind of looking around the room and you kind of make your way closer into it, when you start kind of looking around and kind of investigating, you notice that like thick, heavy presence get really close, and as you kind of like look towards that general direction, you notice this thing like right in front of you.
oh, I'm not gonna like this.
Just
It's
a reminder,
another-
Namia's sword is drawn at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say as soon as we started looking in here,
It's
Angie
another
would
ball
have
of
had
light.
her short sword and dagger
Aye.
drawn.
It's another ball of light.
Though when Angie sees this light appear and stuff, she'll kind of look at it and say, "Hello."
So when you walk up to talk to it, it basically like charges at your general direction and like almost like pulses more as it's getting closer and closer to you.
I back up.
Should we back out of the room?
Oh hell yeah!
All right.
I will. Will-o-wisps! They're will-o-wisps!
Abort mission. Let's go back to plan A. Does it look like they're following us?
Yes.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh, attack.
God dang it.
Next thing we know, we have a wisp mother pop out.
Sarissa?
I'm a very curious creature. I can't help it.
Can I move up before the game pauses?
Yeah. It's not paused, but it's before it locks you into combat. Yeah, I think everyone's rolled. So the one in the very back, ooh, someone got hit with one. Second, I don't know why my that doesn't I don't see my movement speed that it has. I know they basically like hover. I'm trying to see what they it doesn't show my movement speed in the thing. Oh, okay, there it goes. 50. Okay. Let me fix that then. So hover 50. Okay, I can keep up with it better. And then yeah, that one didn't have it either. Okay, well, I'm glad it wasn't just the one. It was ended up being both of them. Okay, that makes me feel better. Okay, so the thing starts making its way down towards you. It goes 5, 10, 15, 20. Whoops. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. And that has a melee. It is going to
Oh, Daniel, each square is 10 feet. I don't know if you're here for that.
I was not. Thank you for that.
And then it blinks.
It just blinks?
It like kind of like blinks, and then it just goes like black.
Okay.
It vanished, pretty much.
So we decided that these things are trying to hurt us, right?
They haven't yet.
Okay.
When they saw you walk by and kind of come close to them, they basically beelined for you.
But like in like a I'm gonna get you way, or like a what's that way?
Or
That's
I'm like a high five way.
That's what Auntie assumed. That's why she ran out
If
of the room.
anybody wants to make any kind of Arcana check to try to see if they know anything about Will-O-Wisps, this would be a good time.
I mean, Namia, you've been doing really good on some of these rolls, so
That's 16.
that's not bad.
Okay. So based on your history with dealing with things, especially with your past and in relation to that, these creatures are, for a lack of a better term, evil.
Okay.
These things thrive and desire to consume life.
Okie
My
dokie.
assumption was it's down here. It's probably bad.
So kill, kill, kill.
Can we hurt them, Namia? That is the question. Do you?
The
does she remember
answer
that?
is yes. You
Okay.
can hurt them.
Do I know how to hurt them? Or is it just I can hurt them with my sword and bow?
You know you can hurt them with your sword and bow.
I'm sorry, you said
You
can
know
or
what hurting
can't?
means.
Hand, C-A-N.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well then it looks like we're fighting today, boys.
Fight!
Okay. So I have 30. That would be 10, 20. Target. Oh, there we go. Oh, hold on. It's
Yeah, I
telling me
did.
that it's giving me an error message when I try to use my offhand sword.
Let me make sure that there's nothing. Oh, okay, I see why. Uh, try it now.
Yeah, it's still saying the same thing.
Huh, okay. Let me look real quick. Let's see. Yes, yes, that looks good. That looks good. That looks good. Okay. Man. Space here and see if that mod. You're doing dex. I think your dex and that are equal. Yep. Now try it one more time. There we go.
There we go. Gosh
So you
darn it.
create a space then.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I am going to cast Shillelagh on my. I didn't take.
It's coded weird, so I
Okay.
what if you're let me remove the damage from it so that way it doesn't
Yeah.
do that again.
Well, I targeted myself, but
Just
I didn't take damage.
what
so.
what you'll just do, I already healed you.
Okay.
Just when you cast it, just be like, "Hey, you from now on you can click it and
Okay.
it won't hurt you." I
Okay.
just fixed it.
Because
So
I know I have 2 clubs, so.
correct.
One,
So
okay.
yeah.
And then I'm trying to remember if that is okay, and that is a bonus action. Perfect. Oh, dang it.
Did you close yourself on accident?
I closed myself out, so I'm going to attack the will-o-wisp. If you can do that for me while you get back in.
The one that's visible.
Yes, I'm going to attack it with my shillelagh club.
Okay. Okay.
And then that's all I was going to do on my turn.
Okay. You attacked it and missed. And
With a 16 too.
do you want
Ugh.
to
A 16 miss?
do you want to stay next to it or do you want to kind of back up away from it?
I
You
mean,
back up, bud.
if I can back away without taking damage, yes.
I'll miss you guys.
I'll move you up some like that, so that
Yeah.
way you're not. That way, if people want to fall in and move up, they can. That way, you're not kind of
Yeah.
blocking.
All right.
That's the main thing. Is just
I am
that.
back in, so. But seriously, a 16 miss.
Theo, from where you're standing, you could go straight
Yeah.
north and you could reach it.
Yeah, that was my thinking. Was I'm just gonna go to here and hit it with my pike. Pike. Fuck.
No.
I might have missed.
Okay. Right. So.
Because. Jesus. Because I know shillelagh is a magical weapon, so I didn't know if these things were immune to non-magical or not. Oh, yay. Hey.
Could have been worse. Hi, Robin.
All right. I'm gonna see. I can pass through where companions are, where like my allies are.
Yeah. You're also short, so you can kind of kind of shuffle way through.
Well, I got 25, so.
So you could go up 5, 10, and go up to here and have enough.
Okay, that's kind of what I want to know. Is like, where can I stand?
Yeah, you could get up right there, just north of Theo.
Oh, too far.
Yeah, it'd be one over to your right. There you go, perfect. Now you can.
Targeted, and then we're gonna go with war picking.
Okay, so
Hopefully
you're not
that's-
currently targeting him at the
Oh, it's got a
moment.
big target on it.
Okay, it doesn't show it on my side. If it shows it on yours, then you're good.
Okay.
There you go.
I
Now I
think
see
a
it.
target.
See.
Yeah, it says I'm too far away.
Okay, I'll fix it. It's this map scaled weird, so it's because everything's coded for 5 feet, but I'll fix it. All right, now try it.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to smite it.
Okay.
Okay, well, it hit, so we can physically hit these
All right,
things.
so hit it with a divine smite.
Just click on
The spell.
that.
Yep, you just click it, and it'll do the rest.
Cast.
Ooh. Well, that's one dead.
That is so many dice. How many
Go,
dice was
Alvin.
that? Is so many. So many dice.
And that was a
gotta
first
click.
level
Jesus.
smite.
Yeah, because it's
I need to
he
play
normally
Paladin. Why do I keep playing
Yeah.
fighters? God damn it.
he it normally does 2d8 because it's undead. It does an extra d8, so then he ended up rolling 68 as a result.
Okay.
So yeah, I got like double bonus. We're underground fighting undead things, so undead paladin is sweet.
No
Oh,
shit.
hot damn.
Yeah, and then anytime
This
you
is my
crit,
jam.
you have to. I wasn't planning on it.
Oh, yeah.
So
You roll a crit, you
Yeah.
pretty much have
You
it's like
got- you have
it's like
to
pretty much
roll a crit.
guaranteed. Yeah.
cool. Well then, that would be the end of my turn.
Okay. All right. So the chick that's running with y'all, she's gonna cast mage armor on herself because she don't want to die.
Never a bad move.
So she's gonna do that and kind of back up a little bit because at least that it lasts for 8 hours. So she's like, it's worth it. All right, Angie, you currently do not see the other one that originally attacked y'all.
It's okay.
Or
because
it moved up and then
dodge action
okay, sounds good.
and keep an eye out for this little thing that disappeared.
Okay, sounds good.
This is tense.
I've all thought about it. It's like, wait, y'all can see my cursor, so I'm gonna start doing funky shit with it, so you never know where I'm gonna go with it.
That's fucking evil.
Damn it, he's on to us, guys. He's on to us, boys. Oy.
Okay. So the thing pops up and attacks.
I knew it was gonna be me. Or not. You're evil.
What's happening?
That's the dragon lady. She kind of seems like dead weight.
She's a scholar. No.
There's enough scholars.
There's never enough scholars.
Fix that one's attack so it doesn't fuck it up.
Ooh. 7. Shit.
Just gonna send
Oh.
the dragon lady back
she's actually got some decent health. She took.
It also helped too that she's a lightning dragonborn, so lightning damage took half of it. So
Oh. Wow.
I actually forgot
Okay.
that she was lightning, so it actually worked out. But
So she's blue dragon. Got it.
yeah, tell by her complexion.
Oh, I'm 10 away. Oh, I
Oh,
forgot.
I'll fix it. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
This unfortunately is just a bad map for stuff like this. So all right, you should be good now. I'm gonna go ahead and just like preemptively fix Angie Kit too.
God damn it. Okay, I tried, guys. Did I move 20 or did I move 30?
From where you were standing originally, you could have technically moved diagonal 10, and that would be where you're at. So if you want to
Okay.
move up,
Yeah.
out of the way you can. That's
I'm gonna move.
acceptable.
Okay.
All right. I don't want to get in the way, so Yeah, it fell. There we go.
Theo, you could move diagonally 5, 10, 15, 20, and could still stab it from standing in that spot.
That spot? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
That's where I will go then. And by can stab it, you mean if I don't roll another nat 1,
True
which
story.
is plausible, but
Story checks out.
damn it.
Well, unfortunately, you jinxed yourself during the last campaign because you rolled so well, and then it all
I
comes
did
back.
roll very well during that fight.
Also, you forgot to yell Pike, so I didn't know what you did.
That is. I definitely yelled it. Maybe you just didn't hear it.
So you moved 20. You could technically move down or up, whichever way you'd want. You still have 10 movement left
Oh, gotcha.
if you wanted to clear the way any.
I mean, is anyone else trying to get next to this thing? I was thinking I might move up to be between these folks and the wisp.
Alvin's like, I killed the last one. I can kill this one.
Yeah.
God, I hope so.
I have faith in Alvin.
I have to be able to get to it first.
True story. You stuck
And
your little
Theo
legs.
has to end his turn.
Oh, yeah.
I got you.
fucking am still getting used to Foundry. Sorry, guys.
I got
In
you.
roll
You're
20,
fine,
it's the
man.
DM's job.
So can I go diagonal, then over to where Theo is, and then diagonal again and to be next to it?
That would do. So diagonal one time would be 10. You get one free diagonal for your normal movement. So moving here would be 10. So it'd be, you technically with your 25 in feet, you could only get like technically like here to like in between Theo and the space with your 25 movement. Like you would, as I grab Theo, unfortunately when y'all stack, it grabs the bottom one. You could technically get down 10, 15, 20, 25 would get you basically like half there. And the thing's kind of partially around this wall, so.
Could I step 5 feet down then instead?
Yes, that's fine. Put you about like right here.
Yeah, and then it's out of my range, but I'll throw a javelin at it.
That is acceptable.
I hit the right button. Nope, not today. That'll be it.
So, this thing's freaking out that this thing, came at it like how it did. So, she's gonna shoot a firebolt in its direction.
Well,
Disadvantage.
and she's gonna move.
It was because technically the thing was adjacent to her.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it
Isn't
was
it-
right next to it to attack her. It's just
It's not 10
in the.
feet away?
So what?
It's not 10 feet away? I'm sorry, the map is just kind of weird.
I know the map's weird. So the thing has to be within 5 feet to hit her. It's just kind of where the thing's sitting in the corner. When I scale them, I can't just put it in the center. It like goes to a corner. It's weird. So because it's that
Okay,
small.
I just thought it would be, since it was in the far corner, there was, it was 10 feet away.
No, it was up against. It has to be next to you, to 5 feet away to attack you.
Not a problem.
With
Yeah. Like I said, it just looked 10 feet away on the map.
yeah. It's just unfortunately I can't make it go in the center. It's really annoying. I wish I could just center it. I've tried before. It's a little wonky. So,
Well,
but yeah.
Can Angie hit it from where I moved to?
From you moving beside it, yes.
be Anshi's turn.
Okay. God, oh sorry, it didn't. It shouldn't have hit the one. Let me undo that. So, missed Alvin by just a little bit. It was so close to that 20. It was so close.
Move here, right?
So it's behind this wall, so you wouldn't be able to attack it from that current spot. So you would have to go 5, 10, 15, 20. You could technically get about in between where Alvin and Angie's at, and you could attack it in basically this space. Because Alvin pretty
Okay.
much, he's kind of meandered between Theo and you, and he's tiny, so he's not taking up a lot of
Oh,
space.
Son of a B word.
hold off at 19. But there's
Hell
19.
yeah. This might be
Oh,
it.
fuck yeah. Get it.
All right.
We hit it one time, guys.
Hey, that's
And
the
it
start.
failed.
Okay.
It failed, and it's still alive.
Theo, from where you're at, you could diagonally stab it with your pike.
Sweet. If it doesn't work the first 2 times, you just keep stabbing.
With what?
Hey, third time's the charm. And it's
Boom. Goes the
dead.
dynamite.
Woo!
Just keep stabbing. Always be stabbing.
ABS?
Big fan of
ABS.
abs.
It's always ab day.
I think we should all agree that we don't go near glowing orbs anymore as a group,
I can agree with that.
no matter how pretty they are.
I support that decision.
All right.
Okey-doke.
Well, since we've already taken care of them, maybe we should look around.
Yeah, I rolled a 7 investigation, so I'm not going to be much help with that. I'm
Let's
too
see what I-
preoccupied writing notes about the will-o-wisp.
I got a 1, so I don't know shit about
you
shit.
You got a 0.
What does Angie find in this room of interest?
So as you kind of look around the area, you notice a lot of corpses to small animals. There's pretty much lots and lots and lots of dead rats just all over the floor. I mean, they're literally everywhere. It looks like these glowing orbs have been sucking the life from these rats and consuming that to prolong themselves for it looks like a pretty extended period of time. Along, the ground, the only thing you could really see is there's a really, really worn out dagger. Like I said, it doesn't look like there's anything to it. Like it's just pretty much just an old kind of rusty dagger, but it might be at least usable for scrap metal.
Hey, so
Cool.
Angie will pick it up, store it. Got some metal.
What's the
Half a
condition-
kilogram down. 12 and a half to go.
What's the
You picked it up.
condition
It's a
of
cursed
the
dagger.
rats? Like, obviously they're dead, but is there any meat on them? Could they be purified? To
They
be
are pretty
Okay.
much just scrap. Like they're
Okay, that's fine.
yeah,
I guess we're done in here then.
pretty much just bones and
Gotcha.
not good times.
Before they start walking, Namia's gonna have her sword ready to keep going.
Pick my torch back up. And walk on.
And shall add a bit of scrap dagger to your inventory. It'll show up in the loot category.
Okay, I think this is the cavern that leads to the camp that they were talking about up here.
Giant chasm. Wonderful.
Giant chasm.
Chasm.
All right.
Okay. So the tunnel, as you like finally make it through that kind of narrow tunnel, you reach the Great Chasm. So the tunnel finally just releases its grip on you as you step out onto the cliff's edge. The ceiling overhead is somewhere far and above and out of sight, and the walls chasing it up to an unknown height. Like as you look up, it looks way higher than 60 feet compared to like some of the other ceilings in the areas. Um, you notice there's a very dim light that continues downward into the chasm, and there you see gleaming spots of illumination from like glowing fungus that provide brief spots of vision in the depths below, but does nothing to help grasp the grand depthness of this chasm. You see tangles of massive roots that form haphazard, disconnected bridges, starting 20 feet below the cliff's edge, forming, connecting, and overlapping networks. Many a pond you see just weird, kind of gnarled roots and stuff that are all just kind of wrapping around this, like, kind of makeshift kind of bridge. And then, but most concerningly, you see something kind of shift far down below, and you see this like roiling red and slow pulsing light moving across the floor of the chamber. And then you also hear just distant gruntal laughter echoing throughout the cavern from an untraceable source.
Okay.
So, yeah. All right, what you got to deal with?
Should I try scaling the walls and seeing how high it goes and cross over, or do you
As a
guys want-
spider?
I feel like we just made a deal about glowing orbs like
I didn't say go
seconds ago.
into
Like,
the chasm. I said climb to the
seconds
ceiling,
ago.
cross over.
seconds ago, we said glowing orb, we turn around. Why is there a conversation that does not start and end with glowing orb, we turn around?
Because scrap metal's on the other side of the chasm. I'm not saying go into the chasm. Clearly, we don't go in the chasm because there's a glowing orb.
Do
We have
see
one
the
rule.
bridge at
One
all,
rule.
like that they talked about?
Because I just don't know. I'm going to come over and see how sturdy this is. So I'm going to lightly. So that would be investigation. Like,
I'll help.
test
I'll like poke
to-
at it too.
yeah.
So
How
if I can give the help action, I'd appreciate that. Would give her advantage.
a 16 still not too bad though.
I mean, it's not bad, but it could be better.
Okay, I'll roll again. Yeah,
So
16's
helpful.
good.
Oh my god. So you
Yes.
like get up there and like have a solid check, and then I just get up, start poking it with my pike, and you're just like, get out of the fucking way, dude.
So how sturdy is this?
Okay. So the bridge itself looks pretty sturdy. I will let you know something based on your search, and
Okay.
also trying to remember if it'll let me add another person. If not, I'll just copy and paste.
Oh.
For the squares, I'm probably not gonna make that jump if I had to.
Yeah, I don't think you can make that jump. Because that is.
Well, now that someone else said I can't do it, I have to do
Well,
it.
think about that. It's like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That's like 60 plus feet. I mean, if you think you can jump
Fair.
that far.
So, Alvin, this is with you assisting Sarissa. This is what you both see looking
thought-
at the bridge.
Oh no, that's Theo,
That was
not
It was
Theo.
Alvin.
Theo.
Was it
Yeah,
Theo?
Theo.
Oh, my
Very
bad.
clearly
Well,
described testing it with a pike, which I don't think
Yeah,
counts.
gotcha,
it was,
gotcha.
and Theo's
My
busy
bad.
sitting
My
next to
bad.
me.
I was actively reading something when you're like that, so I didn't see. I honestly didn't hear
It's
he
all
was
good,
like
man.
that.
I'm just giving you grief.
I don't see the chat because I keep something else open, so I don't look at see who's talking something. I can just tell by voices. All right, so that's what you see um along the bridge.
Oh, I don't think we should.
What are we seeing?
What do you see, Sarissa?
There's shapes moving along the bridge in various locations.
That's a no for me.
Are they glowing shapes?
They don't appear
Yeah,
to be
that's-
glowing. No.
But
Oh,
they're
we're good.
glowing orb
We're good.
adjacent shapes. They are adjacent to the orbs, which I feel like is adjacent to our problem.
All right. Where's the Dragonborn chick? I'm gonna
Oh,
pretty
my
much
bad. I
ask
forgot to
her-
drag her up there with
You're
y'all.
fine.
So okay.
I'm pretty much gonna ask her like, okay, so they describe that the camp is across this chasm, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. How far can you jump?
Not that far, but it looks like if I keep going this way, it gets narrower.
So
There's
as you
also
make
a
as you
point
make
towards
your
the east.
way up that way, Theo, there are somewhat handholds and footpaths that you could use to try to move along that instead of going across the bridge.
Did the Dragonborn confirm that? Yeah, the cat across this chasm.
That's from what she's, and it's like she's never been to
Yeah.
that camp, but she says that this is from what she was described by them, that's the bridge that they used to go across. She said that normally was never anything on it; it was usually pretty safe.
But now clearly something has changed.
Yes, and then she also says that whatchamacallit, there appears to be some sort of fungus that's growing on it, from what she was described. So whatever you drag across, double that, and that's how far it is across.
I thought each square was 10 feet.
Okay, I did fix it to 10 feet. So yeah, you're good. So yeah, so you got about a 60 across.
Yeah, that's what I got. Yeah.
Yeah. So she says that there appears to be like a fungus that's growing along the path that does not look like anything she has seen before. So it's at least kind of interesting to her.
Ooh. I have an idea that does not involve me jumping.
Didn't Sesher say something about glowing blue lights?
How much rope do we have, folks?
I've got 50 feet, and that's where I'm going with this. You and I might be thinking the same thing.
Okay.
So
I have no rope.
I have 50
All right.
feet.
Yeah, okay, so who is better than me at tying knots? And I'll give you a hint. It's probably anyone, because I am not a knot person. I'm a knot person.
Brad, am I good at
Not challenged.
Am I good at knots? I'm a ranger. I feel like I'd be good at knots.
I would say
it's
you would
usually
be good.
survival is usually what it is.
Yeah.
Down here towards the like southeast, there's like a point that sticks out that you maybe could get across at with a big jump.
Okay.
I don't need a jump. I got this. I have the solution. I need someone to tie the ropes together and hand them to me.
Do I have to roll something to see if I'm good at knots, or have we just decided that I'm good at it?
Probably it's going to be like a survival
is
roll or
Theo
something.
the one that's suggesting that we hand him 2 ropes tied together?
Yes.
So what are you trying to tie the rope to?
Right now, just together. So we have 100 feet of rope instead of 250 rope.
That's obtainable. Making 100 feet
That's
of
a
rope is
square knot.
Okay,
Perfect.
that's not a problem.
Okay, so
Where-
now
Sorry.
everybody turn around, because I've been working on controlling this, but I don't know if I can do it when people are watching.
And she blatantly watches him.
Theo is clearly going through a lot of effort, and like closing his eyes and grimacing, but eventually he fades away.
Okay, so in relation to fading away, so you can use your action to do that. So when you fade away, you cannot interact with the material plane.
Yep.
So that would mean objects. So if you have an object on you that you're trying to carry across, you would be able to interact with it.
I can't interact with it. It's like in my bag still, right?
So you're wanting to have
I'm just
100
wanting
feet.
to.
You want 100 feet of rope in your bag, walk across, reappear, chunk rope across to everybody else. As I'm assuming what you're
Exactly,
doing.
because then there's someone on the other side that can catch it.
That is achievable, yes.
Yeah, so that is what I'm trying to do.
Okay. So you want to fade away. You've used your one use of it for the day. Make your way
Yep.
across, and you want to make a basically a rope bridge across to
Yeah.
create an anchor
In
point to
hindsight,
try
I
to
should have
people.
also had her tie one end of the rope to a hand axe, but I kind of have unlimited tries because I'm basically going to hold on to one side of the rope, tie the other end to a hand axe, and just keep hucking it until I get it over them.
Okay.
By the
I
way,
You could also
would you
tie it to your
playing
pike
back into, like,
and
your
toss
ankle
your
or
pike
something?
over.
I am not throwing my pike.
You throw it
Anyway.
every 5 seconds.
I
when you
thrust
reappear
with
over
it
there,
every 5
over
seconds.
there, and she claps for you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Okay.
And she gets a nod.
So what I'm gonna
I'll say
do?
this: I could have turned into a spider and carried the rope over there.
Literally.
Yeah, but now you can save your spider thing.
So
My
I
recommendation
am. Go ahead, Alvin.
is tie the loose end to like your ankle or something so that you don't accidentally lose the end of the rope.
You say that as I was just casually setting the rest of the rope next to me and stepping on it, and I'm like, yeah, that's why it's on my foot and I touch my ankle.
Okay. So during the commotion of, conversing, throwing the rope, yelling across, "Hey, get ready to cut the rope. I'm gonna chunk it across you
Hand
like
axe,
that."
but yeah.
Yeah, and using the hand axe to throw it across. Um, so one, equip your hand axe.
Oh
Make
yeah, you gotta do
make
that.
make a throw with your hand
Disadvantage.
axe.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be a disadvantage because clearly it's a disadvantage. All right. Here we go. Big money. Big money. Well,
so to
that's
hold disadvantage, I'll undo the well, don't worry about damage roll. Hold control
yeah, I was
on
just
your
gonna
keyboard.
do it twice.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if you hold control, it'll roll with disadvantage.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I don't think the 5's gonna do it, but technically the 13 was the second one I rolled, so it was an 11 and a 13.
Okay, so as you throw your
That was
hand
that.
axe, it does
Yeah.
somewhat deftly make it across the rope. Make this little makeshift kind of looking little bridge here. So as you get it across, it gets about 3/4 of the way, and then it kind of trickles down and kind of lands kind of like right in here. So the hand axe it was at least good enough to bury its head into the bridge. So it's close to where the people are. The only bad thing is the commotion of yelling across and coming like that. Two of the shapes that are on the bridge come out to the top of the bridge. That
Gotcha.
being this thing and this thing.
Skeleton.
Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, wow, that one's right next to me. Hi, friend.
Yeah, so the bridge itself is about 20 feet down from the wall. So there's the cliff that y'all are standing on. So, this up here. So down here to where the bridge actually goes right here and here is 20 feet down.
So it would take them 20 feet of movement just to get up.
Well, you have to crawl up. You have to crawl
40
up
feet.
the wall.
Yeah.
You have to crawl up the wall. So he is beneath
Within
you,
a
but he's 20 feet below you.
Right.
The only negative thing
Okay.
is that they are close to your rope and your hand axe.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to. Well, my pike can reach down 10 feet. How tall is this guy? How long are my arms? Oh, I've got 2 more hand axes. I can just keep throwing hand axes at these dudes.
Okay, but you do have the rope
Uh.
that did catch the one hand axe that you threw that didn't make it, and it
Yeah,
buried
yeah,
into
but I've
the
got 2 more.
bridge. Okay, so
Yeah.
your rope is
Should we roll
still.
initiative?
We can. So these things know of your presence because you're at least in the room and making a bunch of noise above them. So
Oh, guys, I forgot to say this. As I hopped the hand axe with the rope, I did yell "Fox rope" at the top of my lungs.
Yep.
Surprising everybody.
someone rolled really well.
Uh,
Wasn't me. Wow, you guys are all getting these freaking 20 plus. Oh shit.
Okay, so this is gonna be fun.
Bone Bros.
1, 2, 3.
I was about to ask if these are the only skeletons on the bridge, as far as we can assume. Because, like, is there even a point in us going down there and getting the rope if we're gonna have to go on the bridge anyways?
Well, I think the rope was more so to help in case the bridge didn't hold. Like, if you guys get on the bridge and there's a problem, I've got a rope that you can just grab onto to help you get up the rest of the way.
I was figuring about shimmying across it, not even touching the bridge, but okay.
That's what I was thinking too, because
I thought we were gonna.
That was the goal, yeah. But because it's stuck in the bridge, I think it's still useful. It's just not as useful.
Because basically what it is now, it's sloped up 20 feet at an angle from the top of this ridge down to 20 feet down into the bridge. So it's got, a little bit of an angle to it, so it's kind of dangling across. So he's got, I'm assuming, the excess rope that's not, because it only got about 50-ish,
Yeah, so
like
I still got
45 feet-ish across in the
Mhm.
angle. So, he's got the excess that he has tied off so he wouldn't lose it.
Right.
But, yeah. So, Angie, you have in front of you, I believe... Let's see. Alright, so how is the vision on this fucker? Because I feel like everybody can see. Let's see. Alright, that'll fix it. That's the way it should be. Okay. Alright. So, Angie, here's what you can see. You can see one skeleton below you, like looking over the edge of the chasm. You can see the one, and you can see the few glowing spots of the bridge, and you can see the little bit of the silhouette of the rope that he threw across. Theo, you actually have the best vision of the bridge from where you're standing. You can actually at least see above the bridge and down to it. Nemia, you can at least see the rope, but you can't see Theo very well. Sarissa, same thing, and the Dragonborn, same thing. And then Angie, like you said, you can see the rope, so you can realistically assume that at the end of that rope is where Theo is at. And then Alvin, you can see a little bit of the bridge, like from the glowing fungus of it, but you can see like the tiny bits of the rope that are visible from the bridge. And that's about it.
So Angie's gonna ready in action to swing with her sword if this thing pops its head up.
Okay. So if it crawls up that 20-foot wall to come at you, you want to try and cut at it.
Yep, I'm gonna try to hit it before it gets to me.
Okay, sounds good. Okay.
I'm gonna shoot it with my arrow.
Okay.
I'm gonna hang tight right here.
So I guess I'm gonna dash. I'm way over here. 20, 30, 40, 50. Cool, that's my turn.
Okay. All right. So the skeleton at the base.
Why?
Right, PPO.
Did it shoot an arrow at him?
It did.
Did he die?
That's so rude.
It didn't.
No.
It didn't die, but he did also make the most attention because he threw a rope in its general direction with the axe.
Did the other skeleton do anything?
It has not yet.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize they had separate initiatives. Okay. I have a quick rule question for you. With a shove attack, it just says you can do it to something within your reach. And when you are using a weapon with the reach property, it expands your reach by 5 feet. So what I would like to do is just ready an action that once the skeleton is within 10 feet of me, which right now he's 20 feet below me, but once he gets up to within 10 feet, I want to use my pike to try and shove him off the wall so he just falls down below the bridge.
Like that.
That's cool. Okay.
I'm fine with that, yeah.
So I'm just writing that action. So like once he's within reach of my pike, I'm just gonna like
You want to
smash
shove
him
to
with
knock
one
him
end of
down.
it.
Yep, I'm good with that.
Yeah, to knock him down, and that's just that my athletics versus his athletics or acrobatics.
Sounds good.
Cool. That's it for me. And I remember to hit the button because I'm awesome.
All right. So the Dragonborn, she'll walk up towards the edge of the cliff, and she will shoot down with a firebolt.
Nice. Fucking get him.
Did enough damage to slay the one that was just below y'all.
As he burns, I yell, "That's what you get for shooting me!"
All right, Sarissa.
I can see that one, so we'll see what happens. 8 failed. I'll take it.
Sweet. Get up here, you bony butthole.
I can't really see anything here.
Yeah, you're very limited in what you can see. The one that you could have saw is the one that was down below you, but you can't see it now.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put my dagger and sword away, and kind of move over this way, and that'll be my turn.
Okay.
I'm gonna move up. I'm gonna shoot this guy.
Okay, sounds good.
Yay.
And question for future Nemia, would I get hurt if I jump down 20 feet? That would hurt me, right? Or am
If you were to jump down from where you're at right there in a controlled manner, it would not hurt you. But if you were to like fall backwards off of it,
Okay.
you take bludgeoning damage.
Okay, I don't have the move for it this turn, so maybe next turn.
That's fine.
And I guess I will keep moving. And 25. And don't see anything.
Yeah, it's just a little outside of your torch.
Yep. So
About solid
I'm
40 feet. So
just gonna pull up my javelin, and if something comes in range, I'll throw it at it.
okay, sounds good.
Something that is aggressive to me. I'm not throwing my
Okay.
javelin at a friend.
Sounds good. All right, Theo.
Oh, since it worked so well last time, I'm going to once again ready in action to shove this guy if he tries to climb up here.
Sounds good.
Because I'm not going down there, and if I hit him with a hand axe, I'd have to go down and get it. So that doesn't really strike a fancy.
Okay. Decent shot on him, and is going to take a shot, the old fire blast. Plow. Okay. All right. That did it.
Okay, so we're free to move.
You're free to move.
Okay.
And I can help if you still want to go down there. I can help assist you climbing down.
I just don't know how else we're gonna get across
Yeah.
or use this rope. But I
Yeah.
also don't know if there's more skeletons down there.
Good point. Maybe go one at a time, and people just like ready actions to blast stuff if they
Yeah.
crawl out there while someone's on the bridge.
Yeah, already if you go
Yeah.
down there already in action to cast frostbite. If I
Sounds
see
good.
anything aggressive.
Okay.
And
Namia's gonna. Oh, go ahead.
And she's gonna pull her sword out again, and just take a step right off the edge and let herself drop down onto the bridge.
Okay.
Doing like that controlled fall. And then she's gonna pull the handouts out and try to climb up. Kind of store it like an air built or something. And
Oh,
try to
that's
climb
so
back.
smart. Yeah, that makes way more sense.
Okay. You're going to
Athletics
start
or acrobatics
moving
to climb back up.
one more time.
Athletics or acrobatics to climb back up.
Okay. So as you reach down to grab the hand axe,
Ooh, before anything happens, I ready my bow.
sure.
Good.
It's
I ready
fine.
my pipe, just in case. Oh no!
Oh shit.
No! I can't stab fungus from up here.
Ow! God dang it! Did I at least get the hand axe out?
Right when you were reaching down to grab it, when that thing smacked you in the face with its fungal legs, and then proceeds to do it 3 more times.
Oh shit.
Rolled off that 14. Okay, you got
Oh,
lucky
thank
there.
God.
Got lucky there, because it should have been 2 hits. That one that got bounced off, you got lucky. Got lucky there.
So do I get to shoot it because I have my bow ready?
You can shoot it.
Same thing with me.
Oh, it didn't do
Damn it.
anything. Oh yeah, it did.
Okay.
Oh, you frostbited the shit out of that. You got a 2.
Sarissa,
don't
what was
know
the
why
last one? What was the last? I think this is the one you had. You had him. I think it was this first one targeted.
This one up here was
Was it this
targeted
one?
where my
Okay.
cursor was. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna delete it to see if it will prevent it from doing it again in the future. Okay, so, all right. Whoops. Okay.
Whoo-hoo! Rolling with the hot hand on initiative. All right. Sarissa, those are 2 real bad initiative rolls in a row.
All right, Alvin, you saw Anchi reach down to get that hand axe and got attacked by this multi-armed fungal creature and just started just waylaying on Anchi. Luckily, she only got hit once.
Yeah, I think you're trying to say it attempted to wail on Anchi. I would not say it successfully wailed him.
Got her one good time though.
Angie's gonna debate that because she got hit.
What for 4 is not bad.
I took a third, so I'll take it. I took a third of that health.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't reach the dang thing.
You can always try and jump down at it.
The evil fungus thing. I don't know. Screw it. I'll crawl down and try to hit it with my war pick.
Okay.
So I'm gonna crawl down, I guess 20, 25 feet, but
You
I think I can only
should
make
be
it like
good
10.
from where you're standing at. That'll be a good spot because you're small enough that you could fit just straight down from where you're at. So that'd be where you're at right there. Would be good enough to hit
Great.
without having to move your token. So
Target it. And yeah. Well, that sucked. Huh?
Still hit.
Cool. You know what? Why not? We'll throw in the other smite just for good measure. And this thing seems
Might be dead. I don't see it
Maybe
anymore.
dead.
it's
Never mind.
dead. You killed him.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna be it for my turn then.
But don't smite it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna smite it because it's dead.
I mean, if
It
you want to
seemed
waste
way
that spell
scarier.
slot, by all means, you can. I won't.
No, I'd
hold it
rather
against
not.
you.
It seems dead. And, I thought it was scarier than it was.
Well, and she's gonna try to grab the hand axe again.
Can I like try and wiggle it loose with the rope by like pulling on the rope so it's easier for her to get out?
I'm still down there, so if anything comes up to attack, I'm gonna, basically ready an action to hit it with the war pick.
Okay, on your
Nice.
next turn, that is not a problem since you did use your action to attack it the first time.
Okay. Can Anchi pull the? Oh, are we still in initiative?
Yes.
Oh shit.
Wow. That's why I was like, yeah. You can ready next turn. That's not a problem.
Yep. No, you're right. Sorry.
No, you're good. No worries.
But
I would have just vetoed it. You're like, all right, I'm gonna hit it. I'm like, no, not just yet. This is not a problem.
Cool. So on my turn, since I'm going before Anchi, I want to just try and like yank on the rope to try and loosen the hand axe so it is easier for Anchi to like get the hand axe out
Make
and toss it up to the people up
dex
top.
check. Make a dex check. If
Oh,
you get
you
above
know how dexterous I am.
if you get above a
Oh,
12,
yes,
you're able to at least loosen it up enough to make it a little bit easier.
Oh, so dexterous. So dexterous.
You were close.
Almost got it.
Where is that damn thing? Let's see. Armor.
Anchi's gonna try to grab at the hand axe again.
Okay.
And pull it up and then try to start and put it in her.
There we go.
Secure it in her belt.
Okay.
Actually, she's gonna secure it by tying it around her waist. Stop hitting me.
Okay, it only does it twice this time. It missed both times at least. So you are able to the hand axe up from the root that was buried into. And you said what were you wanting to do with it? Just kind of like put it in your stuff.
I'm gonna tie it around my waist.
Okay, so you are now tied to the rope. Good to know.
And then can I use my
Good
movement
to
and start
know.
climbing back up?
That is also acceptable. Yes.
What type of skill check is that?
Make a athletics check.
Oh God.
Okay, fun. As you start climbing the wall to make your way up, you slip on one of your handholds and fall off to the side. Thankfully, you're at least attached to the rope. So, the chasm bottom is 40 feet down from where you're
Ooh,
at.
that would have hurt.
As I start to fall, I cast Featherfall.
Okay. I believe that was one that you got.
The one I start with.
Yeah, you get it as like that. So yes, that is not a problem. So you can cast Featherfall as a reaction to slow down your descent. So
Yeah, you guys all start to see Angie fall down, and she doesn't look panicked at all at this.
yeah. So
just
as
looks
you
annoyed.
as you make your way down, so I'm gonna redraw the rope here. So the rope will basically come around and down to Anchi, which it's down here. I just did kind of like a loop around you from below. And Anchi, you are now negative 40 feet below. Can't do that. It's going to make you pop off the map. Okay, even negative, let's see. No, even that. What the hell? Negative 1. That is not wanting to do what I wanted to do. 0. Okay, so you are 40 feet down on the ground from where everybody else is at. I'll just kind of, whoops, do that one.
I
I'll
gotcha.
do.
40 feet down in in blackness, can't see shit.
True story, because you have no dark vision. So,
Oh shit.
yeah, everything's black. So, I'm gonna do one of these numbers for you.
All you-
Over
Out
back.
of character,
All
can
things
Sarissa still see Anshi
Uh,
looking down?
looking here, there on you. That's probably a nice, very unsettling there.
Yep.
So, drew a nice little darkness belt around you. So, Sarissa, you standing where you're currently standing, you are 20 feet up from there, so another 20 feet above that. So,
60.
let's
She's
see.
60 feet away or below from where I'm standing.
You're from where you're standing right there. She's just a little past 60 feet, so you can't see her exactly, but you're very close. If you were a little further forward, you'd be able to see her.
Okay, that was my question. Sorry,
Yeah.
I should have clarified. Okay.
You're good. You're good. Just from where you're currently standing on the ledge, you cannot. No.
That's fine.
Okay. So Angie, I know you. I guess technically used your action to make your check to get up there, and you fell down. And you also used your action to feather fall to save yourself from taking any fall damage. Let's see. You cannot phase out. Or so let's see. Let's see. Okay, that was somebody else. Okay.
No, I asked that.
Gotcha. So it wouldn't cut it, but it would not go with you. Like it would basically stay in place
It would stay, if I was to do that right now, it would stay down there. It would not climb up with me.
Correct.
Gotcha.
For phasing out, yes. Okay. All right. So the one that y'all originally dealt with is dead. Nemia, you are on the cliffside, 20 feet above the plant bridge, and you are just a little bit outside. You're closer to being able to see Anchi than Sarissa is, but she's still partially just outside of your range.
Okay, but
Or your sight.
I can see the fungus that's near her, right?
Yes, you can see the fungus down on the side of the bridge. Yes, that you can clearly see.
Okay. I'm gonna try to shoot that guy for her.
That is not a problem.
And I'm not going down to the bridge, so I'm gonna end my turn.
Okay, sounds good. All right. So the Dragonborn's also going to take a shot at the fungus with the firebolt and did pretty solid damage. Good hit. So the fungus will slowly move over, just like 5 feet, like this thing's barely crawls, but moves just a little bit further along towards like the center part of the bridge, and just kind of just slowly shifts a little bit. It kind of like slithers more to the top side of the bridge, where Anchi was originally kind of standing. All right, Sarissa.
All right, so I'm going to go 10, 20. All right. Okay, still cannot see her, but I'll do this.
Okay. All right, Alvin. So
All right. So let's
shouldn't have
walk up
taken
and
away frostbite.
smash this violent femme fungus. I'm not moving. And can I get it?
If you were standing right there, you'd be able to attack it.
Okay.
Attacked with disadvantage. It still hit, but I don't know why.
I mean, yeah, it didn't super matter for that one.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I guess I'll keep walking down the bridge. And then I have to get 5 more feet.
In which way would you want to go? More towards the center, like towards this way, or more towards like the top?
More towards the other end of the bridge. I'm trying to clear the bridge off for everybody else.
Okay, I got you.
So
I got you. Okay. Anything else?
that's it.
Okay. All right, Theo. You're on top of the bridge. You feel the rope start to fall down off the bridge after Anchi attempted to climb up the wall, and you can still feel the tightness and tugging of Anchi on the opposite end of it.
Yeah. So she doesn't weigh that much because she's like me. So can I just start hauling her up as my action?
Okay. So yeah, she's about 75 pounds. You know, um, and so you could make a athletics check to start trying to hoist her out from the thing.
Could be
there.
worse.
Okay. All right. So as you start to hoist her towards you, let's make this pretty prominent so it's clearly visible. So as you start to hoist her, you start to feel it get really taut in that general direction because you're pulling up all the excess slack and you're basically wrapping it around Anchi and pulling up. While in the process of doing this, The rope brushes up against one of the funguses.
Oh no.
Hmm.
So let me
Makes sense.
let me do a trying to look rope trying to see if ropes have ACs or not. Has an AC of 10 and an HP of 2. So see if it'll just roll. Okay. Angie, I'm gonna attack you. Disregard any damage. I just need it to be targeting something. So don't worry if it hits you. So okay, so it only attacks once. So it kind of attacked at the rope, but it didn't. It didn't fray the rope. It kind of got lucky that rope didn't get destroyed. But it's in a very precarious situation. Anything else you were going to do? Sorry, I didn't mean to skip you. Anything else that you were going to do besides trying to pull her up?
No, that was all.
Okay. All right. So Angie, you're at the bottom. You feel the rope begin to get taut and tight around your waist. He started to pull you up. You've gotten about 5 feet up from the ground in the couple seconds that he started pulling you. While you were down there, you hear loud stomping sounds coming from your right.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I'm gonna try to help him by climbing as well. Try to get myself up there as quick and out of here as quickly as possible.
okay. All right. Make you a athletics check to try to climb up the rope. So,
Because he's in the process of pulling, would I get advantage on this roll or not?
no, only because you're physically still having to climb the rope. You're still reaching up above you to pull yourself up. As you start to climb your way up, your hand slips on like a weird viscous material that's slowly dripping down from above you and makes your hand slip and you release. You thankfully didn't fall from very far. You're still pretty much in position from where you were because you didn't fall and land on anything. You're basically still climbing up and you're at least 5 feet off the ground.
Okay, now would that have counted as a move action?
You were making an actual action to try to climb the rope, but does
Okay,
not
so
count as your movement. No, but I mean you're 5 feet lifted up off the ground. Your feet aren't touching the ground to do anything.
So in other words, I can't attempt again.
Correct. No, you don't have any leverage to like jump up or try to grab like because you're 5 feet lifted up off the ground because when he pulled you up, you're not flat on the ground anymore.
Gotcha. No, I just wasn't sure if I could try to climb up the rope again or not. So.
No, you used your action to start trying to climb up the rope and unfortunately slipped.
Okay.
So let's see, how far away are you? Okay, so Angie,
Yep.
you see a glowing light coming your direction, towards your right, and it's about 35, 40 feet away.
Glowing orb, that can't be good.
It's the light that would be comparable that would come from like a torch.
Okay.
Fun times.
Oh, I know what I'm doing on my next turn.
Okay. But yeah, so I don't know, can you see to your right?
Yeah, I see the lighted area.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Just making sure. Okay, so dead fungus is on the bridge. Nemia, you're on top of the bridge. You did see one fungus kind of pop out a little bit, so you can see kind of a line of sight on one of them. Kind of
Yeah, I
clear.
think I'm gonna hop down the 20 feet, carefully hop down the 20
Sure.
feet so I don't get hurt
Okay.
to the top of the bridge. And then can I just move myself forward to do
Yeah,
that,
you
or
can. Yeah, you move down one, so you kind of jump down to get a little further down.
I'm just gonna shoot him?
Okay.
Oh, it says I'm blocked by a wall.
Okay. It's because the way I drew Anshi on the bottom. So
Oh, okay.
I basically drew so here, let me do this and let me do try it now.
Okay. That worked.
There you go. Okay, excellent. All right. Okay, and chick up top is gonna do the same thing. She's gonna take a shot at the old mossy fungus thing there. Take another good pot shot. Did pretty comparable damage, not too bad. Okay, so now the fungus is going to again tack at that rope. All right, so roll. Dang it. Roll. Seriously?
Target me again.
Oh, it's no, it's not attacking you. It's too far to attack you. It's attacking
Right,
the
right.
rope
If you
that's
need
up
to,
against its body.
right. If you just
Um,
need to be able to hit an AC or something, just
I'm just no, I'm trying to roll a d4. Okay, so it's gonna attack 3 times at the rope. So
Nice.
it needs to get 10 or better and do at least 2 damage. So yeah, I'll attack at Anchi and then just do that, and then any damage I'll undo. Figure is blocked by a wall. Okay, cool. So let me target somebody else instead. Alvin. And then, of course, since it's out of range. My god. F my life. Let's see. Okay, one more again. I believe in you. Alright. So, it failed the first time. Failed the second time. Failed the third time. So it's just slithering all over that rope, but it's not hurting it. So, it's a tough ass rope. Alright, Sarissa.
Now I'm going to move back here to see if I can. Okay, now I can see stuff. Okay.
The one time you've missed.
Yeah, the one time it succeeds.
All right. So we'll go.
Oh, I see the glowing light though. That's creepy.
There we go. All right. Can I hit it from here?
Yes.
Or is it really low?
It's like, imagine if you're standing on the bridge, it's kind of huddled off a little bit to the side, but you could swing down at it.
Cool.
Yay.
And that's it.
Okay.
okay. So I have a question here.
Sure.
How close am I to the far cliff wall? How close am I to this cliff wall?
So that wall itself, so you got about 40 feet. So you are from where you're at, you were about 40 feet like in a straight line from Theo, but you're also 40 feet down. So you are roughly about like 65 feet away from the wall, kind of going in a diagonal line.
Okay. So the reason why I was asking, I was wondering if there's any way I could help him when he's pulling me up, but I'm not going to be able to. Okay.
Gotcha. All right, so Theo, as you pull the rope in, if that's what you're wanting to do again, it's
Yep.
going to get harder because of that thing slobbering all over it. So if you make an athletics check to
Yeah.
pull them up again, you're going to have to make a
Could
disadvantage.
I just like walk over here and try and make it so the rope is no longer touching the bridge at all?
You could. That's not a problem. It's just the rope itself is just slobbered all over. But yes, that
Yeah,
is
that's
not a
fine.
problem. That's not a problem. If you're wanting to move the rope over, and kind
Yeah.
of drag Anshi kind of towards that direction of it,
Yeah, I'm
that's
just trying
not
to
a problem.
drag Antry away from the bridge so we don't have to deal with any more fungus.
Yeah, that's fine. So, it'll kind of create a little bit of a loop, kind of like this, and you're basically just going to be kind of like pulling it towards you.
Yeah.
So you moved over a couple. You moved over about 20 feet across to get her. So when you start pulling her, she's going to get moved away from the bridge. That's not a problem. She's still about 35 feet deep, but further than that since you've walked across. So roughly from here to there is like that. So she's about 60 feet worth of rope away from you, kind of moving
Cool.
diagonally. So
Yep. So I'll just keep pulling it.
okay, perfect. Okay, as you start kind of like yanking up and pulling her up, your hand gets all caught in that nasty goo from that stupid fungus, and your hands kind of slip. So the little bit of progress you got, you lose. So she plops back down that 5 feet. So she's back flat on the ground.
Gotcha.
But she's still attached to the rope. You didn't lose the rope. You got the rope in your hand still. It's still tied to you. It's still tied to her. So, at least good in that regard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. Boop.
Okay. Am I closer to this cliff wall over here?
From where you're standing at, yes, you are.
And I have glowing light over here.
So, from where you're standing, if you were to head south towards the wall where Nemea, Sarissa, and Cornier are, it would be about 20-ish feet to get to the wall, and then you'd have to start climbing up the wall, and the wall is about 40 feet up.
Okay. My question is, would climbing the wall be considered an action, or would it be considered part of my move?
Climb the wall would be an action because you have to physically use your hands to climb up the wall. And it requires an athletics check.
So are you sure? I feel like usually climbing or swimming, it basically just counts as difficult terrain unless you have a climbing or swim speed.
It's very specific to this because the walls are very difficult. There's a lot of handholds and footholds that you have to try to traverse in. It's very difficult to climb.
Yeah, no, I get that. I think yeah. I mean, it's your call. It's just the way it's either run before is like even if it needs an athletics check, it's still like climbing is a type of movement. But yeah, your call. Obviously, not trying to disagree with you.
I'm gonna tell Theo to stop trying to pull me up. And I'm gonna move over to here.
Okay.
And I'm going to ready an action to actually no, I'm gonna see if I can't hide in the darkness over here.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll that with disadvantage since I'm tied to the rope?
Yeah, try to make a stealth check. Make it with disadvantage since there's at least an obvious thing connecting you to another object.
I clicked. Hang on, let me roll again.
Just roll a
so I get
second one.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Yep. So, yeah, you're quite not stealthy. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Damn rope.
I love when that happens.
So,
1 in the 20.
yeah.
God.
So, Anchi, as you are standing there, um, trying to attempt to hide in the darkness, unfortunately failing miserably, uh, you notice that light source that was uh, approaching you from the distance is making its way closer to you.
Yep.
And as you were looking at it, let me see. Okay, perfect. Okay. Uh, make sure. Did it not apply it? Light. Update. Okay. All right, and let me delete this and here. Okay. All right. So okay. So you see this hulking thing making your way towards your presence, trying to hide in the corner.
What the fuck is
This
that?
is why we avoid things that glow.
Is that an Amber Hulk? Oh no. I can see the picture now. Okay. I know what I'm doing if I get another turn.
The zombie pork.
I. Now that you mention it, yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
It's an ogre zombie.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh dear God.
Yeah. But we're going to end it with that because it's already 11 and I have to work tomorrow. So we'll resume with if Anshi's going to get out of the hole when we come back. So that will do it for the evening. So I'll have to look at my schedule. Like I know everyone's this is that
next week. It looks like you work both Wednesday and Saturday, so it would be one of
correct.
those. So it'd be one of those things if people are available on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, or Friday, we can play one of those days. If not, we have to wait till Wednesday the 23rd, and that's the day before Thanksgiving.
Okay. So I would be okay with either the 14th or the 17th, which would be Monday or Thursday
Okay.
of next week.
But I don't
I
think
can
we
do
can
Thursday. I can't do Monday.
Okay, so you can do Thursday. I was about to say, I know you do soccer.
So soccer's fuck, you're right. That is Thursday. You have better memory. I had a bye week last week, so I totally slipped soccer. Yeah. Yeah. So I can't do Thursday. It might be easier to just shoot out the options that you guys have in Discord and vote like we did last time.
Yeah.
That's fine. We can
if
do
you guys
that.
want to just do that again.
Worst case, I mean, this is typically what happens around the holidays because everyone is busy, everyone has lives.
Yeah.
Like it's
Fact.
probably gonna have to be probably Wednesday the 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving. If that probably works for everybody, but also with it being the day before Thanksgiving, it might not. So
yeah,
I will tell you this. Me and Jory don't typically do anything family wise for Thanksgiving.